Matilda! Matilda! Yes, that was my bad, Derek Zoolander. But no, I did not like Zoolander 2. I don't even know where to start with this movie. I wanted to like it, but going in, I had very, very low expectations. Because at the end of the day, I didn't feel there was a reason for a Zoolander 2. I think it was a perfect movie for its time. But I never said, hey, I want to see the continuing tales of this movie. Sure enough, though, I went to go see it. I will be honest with the movie. The first 20 minutes of this movie, especially if you're a fan of the first one, are phenomenally funny. I mean, just filling you in on the last 10 years of what happened to these characters. What's happened to these characters is ridiculous, but it's funny. And I found myself laughing a lot in that first 20 minutes and actually becoming more hopeful. But it was around the 30-minute, 35-minute line, if I remember correctly, where this movie kind of plummeted into that area where you're just like, uh-oh, this is going to be that type of movie. In a lot of ways, it didn't feel too much different from movies like Anchorman 2 and Dumb and Dumber 2. And I think the main problem with these comedy sequels, and especially the ones I've named, is that they have waited too long to make the sequel. Too much time has passed. The actors really don't capture the character as well. I think that's a big part of it. I also think that a lot of these comedies are a product of their time. They work. Yeah, what was funny in 1994 isn't going to be funny in 2014 in the case of Dumb and Dumber. And also with Zoolander, the same thing. In 2001, this was funny stuff. Now in 2016, it's a little bit harder to really make people laugh with that kind of humor. I will say I did giggle throughout this movie, but a lot of it was kind of just I was in disbelief at some of the stuff they were throwing at you. Ben Stiller seems to play the character decent, but there's just something lost in that time off from the character that almost makes it feel like it's somebody imitating it and not the original character we grew to love. Trying to think of moments I liked from the movie when there's just so much stuff I didn't like. I mean, there's so much forced humor. For every joke I giggled at, there were 20 more jokes that just fell flat, that you just felt awkward and you cringed and you thanked God that you were not the one responsible for this movie. It just didn't work. I don't think anybody was trying to make a shitty movie. I think they tried, and they tried to elevate whatever the first one was, which is ridiculous, like I said already. So I can't blame them, but it just doesn't work. There's too many moments that you're just like, oh my God, this fucking movie is terrible. I hate myself for watching it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I would recommend, I picked up the Blu-ray, which came with free movie money. So I essentially paid like $1 to go see it with the movie money, and that might have been too much. I can't say to go out and see this movie if you're going to go ahead and pay $16 for it. I live in New York. If I'm going to, I can't imagine paying that price for it. If I did, I really would have hurt myself in the car ride home. I might have jerked the wheel into a bush and killed other people as well. So I can't recommend telling somebody, go see this movie, because I don't want to hurt you or anybody around you. I'd give it a generous 2 out of 5, but just go in there with as little expectation as possible. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of expectations for this movie, so I think a lot of the other stupid jokes I laughed at. I feel like Anchorman 2, I mentioned, and Dumb and Dumber 2, those two movies keep coming to mind because they're all in the same ballpark to me. And I think all those sequels are just as good as this one, which isn't very good, but they're all kind of the same. So if you've had a similar experience with Anchorman to Anchorman 2, or Dumb and Dumber to Dumb and Dumber 2, just hold off, save your money, or see Deadpool again, because I wish I would have saw Deadpool again. That's really all I can say. But I will say there is a slew of cameos in this movie. If you're into that type of cameo-driven movie, there's cameo after cameo after cameo. Some work, some are ridiculous. I mean, there's one in particular that I'm thinking of, and I don't want to spoil it because maybe the surprise factor will make you laugh, but this is a guy who just keeps popping up through the movie, and at first I was like, why the hell's he in the movie? That's funny. And then after about the 4th time that he was in the scene, it was kind of, why is he in this movie? That's what I was questioning. So, like I said, 2 out of 5. I can't recommend it, as I've said before about jerking the wheel. But I guess if you're a die-hard Ben Stiller fan and you must see Zoolander, go there. Maybe under the influence of something you'll like it better. I don't know.